Hey everyone, you're watching WisdomShots. If you're a parent, you must have tried out this time-out strategy with your kids. Time-out is basically when the kid does something mischievous or naughty, you will ask them to stay in a corner for a few minutes. It's a punishment. They're not supposed to talk, or play or move. They have to think about what they did. And the intention is to make them realize about their mistake and hopefully take some corrective action. The whole world is in a timeout mode right now. We are stuck in a corner and forced to think. We are so proud of our advancement in science and technology. AI, cloning, automation, robotics, electric car, going to Mars, what not. But no one anticipated that a virus will bring the world to a standstill. Someone ate something in China and the entire world is washing their hands. Globalization at its best. There's a saying, life is what happens to you while you are busy making other plans. There's one question, $1 million question, a lot of people are asking, especially if you believe in God. The question is, why is God silent? Why there is no intervention from God to end the suffering? Why the loving God giving his children a tough time? Why did God give all of us a time out? Valid questions, right? Even I don't know the answer, but with my limited understanding of this universe, let me explain one of the prominent law of this universe. This is mentioned in many philosophical books and scriptures, but let me pick up a Chinese book. It's called Tao Te Ching. This was written 2,500 years back. After the Holy Bible, this is the most translated book in the world. This is like the ultimate book of wisdom which has stood the test of time. The second verse of the Tao talks about the law of duality which exists in this universe. The duality of life teaches us that every aspect of life is created from a balanced interaction of opposites and competing forces. For example, day and night, life and death, good and evil, happy and sad, peace and war, hot and cold, form and chaos, positive and negative, pain and pleasure, the list goes on. The book says dark would not exist without the light and beauty exists only because there is ugliness. We can appreciate good phase of our life only if you go through a bad phase. And there is a season and time for everything in this universe. And throughout the course of history of mankind, diseases, outbreaks have actually ravaged humanity, sometimes changing the course of history. There were plagues, smallpox, flu outbreaks in the history which wiped out millions of people. The last big one was Spanish flu between 1918 and 20, exactly 100 years back, which affected, as per records, some 500 million people around the world and 39 million people died around the world, including some 12 million people in India. But our generation, we have not seen a crisis of this magnitude, but it happens. Whether we like it or not, that's nature. It takes a break at times to heal. It does a balancing act. That's the way it is designed, the duality of life. And we all experience the duality in our own lives, right? Sometimes good times and bad times, isn't it? But as a whole world, as they say, collective consciousness, this is the first time we are experiencing a difficult time of this kind in the last 100 years. So what I'm trying to say is it's not about God, it's all about time. And if you read some of our scriptures, even so-called gods have experienced difficult time, sufferings and hardships. So time has not even spared gods, right? So I'll give you a classic example, a classic case, and this is very relevant to our current situation. So every year in the famous Puri temple, Lord Jagannath Swami falls ill, and just before the Rath Yatra, in this condition of this illness, he will be quarantined for 15 days. And I'm not kidding. Ask your friends from Bhubaneswar or Orissa. In the language of the temple, it's called Anasar. God is kept in isolation for 15 days, and during this period of isolation, darshan of God is closed, and water of herbs is given to God in the diet. And this tradition has been going on for thousands of years. When the God himself goes on a self-quarantine for a period of 15 days, it's a big message for all of us, mere mortals, to stay home and take care. Adversity is the biggest teacher. And I believe gods have gone through tough situations in life to teach us biggest lessons of life. Whether it is Jesus Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, various spiritual teachers, they all had real challenges in life. But the way they overcame those situations inspire us. The truth is, tough times always define us in life. So, after every storm, there's a sunshine. After every winter, there's a spring. And this is not the end of the world. It can never be. The human spirit is incredible. It's time to become conscious of our power and remind ourselves and all those around us that the human race is resilient, flexible, and strong beyond any imagination. So humanity will survive. We are in this together. This too will pass. Our world will become wiser, kinder, and more noble from this experience. So stand strong and be of good courage. So thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay safe. And one more thing. Adversity is the biggest test of our faith. Never lose faith. Keep believing. God bless you.